Welcome back, students. In last lecture we have done lattice and basis unit cells and its types, that is simple cubic unit cell, body centered unit cell, face centered unit cell and end centered or base centered unit cell. We have also learned how to calculate the number of atoms present in a various type of unit cell. We have also studied the 7 crystal systems and 14 Bravais lattices. Today's lecture is important from the numerical point of view. In this lecture, we will cover the density of cubic unit cell, packing in solids and coordination number, and also the packing efficiency in various type of lattices. Let's get started with the topic. In the last lecture, we have learnt how to calculate the number of particles in a unit cell. Today, we will learn to calculate the density of a unit cell. As we all know, density is the mass per unit volume. So, the density of a unit cell will be mass of unit cell upon volume of unit cell. Let us take an example of simple cubic unit cell. In simple cubic unit cell, all the edge lengths are same, that is A equals to B equals to C. So the volume of this unit cell will be A cube. Suppose the mass of one particle is m and there are n number of particles in a unit cell. So the mass of the unit cell will be mass into number of atoms per unit cell. Now the density of a unit cell denoted by rho is given by mass of unit cell upon volume of unit cell. So the mass of the unit cell, that is m into n, that is the number of atoms, upon A cube. Now this mass of unit cell we cannot calculate directly, we know the molar mass. So the molar mass of the substance is given by mass of one particle into number of particles per mole, that is the Avogadro number. Therefore, m will be equals to molar mass upon Avogadro's number. By putting this value in density, we will get n into molar mass upon A cube into Avogadro's number. From this, we can calculate the density of a unit cell. In this, we can also calculate the number of atoms. If the 4 parameters are known, the fifth can be calculated. Here, the small n, that gives you the number of atoms per unit cell. As we have already learned, if n comes out to be 1, that means it is a simple cubic unit cell. If n comes out to be 2, then it is a body centered unit cell. If n comes out to be 4, then it is a face centered unit cell. By this way, we can also know the type of unit cell. Now in the examination, sometimes density is asked, sometimes number of atoms per unit cell are also asked. By this you can calculate the density of the unit cell. In some of the books, in place of small n, Z is given. Z is the number of atoms in the unit cell, or it is also called a rank of the unit cell. Now let us solve one example. The silver crystallizes in a face-centered cubic structure. The edge length of the unit cell is 408.7 picometer. Calculate the density of silver. Okay, here edge length is given, that is 408.7 picometer, and you know 1 picometer is equals to 10 raised to power minus 12 meter or equals to 10 raised to minus 10 centimeter. So here it will be equals to 408.7 into 10 raised to minus 10 centimeter. Now you know the volume of the unit cell will be A cube, that means 408.7 into 10 raised to power minus 10 centimeter whole cube. Now silver has a face-centered unit cell and we know that the unit cell contains 4 atoms. First we have to calculate the mass of one atom of silver. That is equals to, we know, molar mass of silver upon Avogadro's number. On solving this, we will get 17.93 into 10 raised to power minus 23 gram. Now mass of unit cell of silver. Mass of one atom is 17.93 into 10 raised to power minus 23. So the mass of unit cell will be 4 into 17.93 into 10 raised to power minus 23. On solving this, we will get 71.72 into 72 into 10 raised to power minus 23 gram. Now density of silver is mass of the unit cell upon the volume of the unit cell. So on further solving, we will get 10.51 gram centimeter 10.51 gram per centimeter cube. Like this, by using this formula, we can also calculate the atomic radius of some element or the atomic mass of the elements also. Close packing in crystal refers to a space-efficient arrangement of constituent particles in crystal lattice. The constituent particles of crystalline solid are represented as hard spheres of equal size. जब ये स्पेयर्स बहुत क्लोजली अरेंज रहते हैं तब इंटरपार्टिकल फोर्स ऑफ अट्रैक्शन उनमें स्ट्रॉन्ग होता है. यहाँ पे एक और टर्म समझना ज़रूरी है, वो है कोऑर्डिनेशन नंबर. द नंबर ऑफ नेबरिंग स्पेयर्स दैट टचेस एनी गिवन स्पेयर इज इट्स कोऑर्डिनेशन नंबर. Yes, you can see here the linear arrangement of spheres. यहाँ पे देखिए हर एक स्पेयर 2 स्पेयर्स को टच कर रहा है, तो इसका कोऑर्डिनेशन नंबर 2 होगा. Larger the coordination number, closer are the spheres to each other. One more thing here you have to understand, in two-dimensional arrangement, spheres are arranged in 2 ways. पहला जो फिगर में आप देख रहे हैं, यहाँ पे जो फर्स्ट रो है उसके ऊपर जो सेकेंड रो अरेंज्ड है, एक स्पेयर दूसरे स्पेयर को टच कर रहा है. यहाँ पे हियर द स्पेयर्स आर vertically and horizontally aligned. Okay, and the space between these spheres, that is known as the empty space or voids. In the next figure you can see, पहला रो जैसे लीनियर अरेंजमेंट है वैसा ही अरेंज्ड है. यहाँ पे जो सेकेंड रो अरेंज्ड है वो 2 स्पीयर्स के बीच में जो गैप है उसको डिप्रेशन बोलते हैं. वहाँ पे दूसरा रो स्टार्ट है, मतलब हर एक रो के डिप्रेशन में नेक्स्ट रो अरेंज्ड है. इस टाइप के अरेंजमेंट में आप देखेंगे तो एम्प्टी स्पेस कम रहता है, तो यहाँ पे जो पैकिंग होती है वो बहुत एफिशिएंट पैकिंग होती है. मतलब एम्प्टी स्पेस जितना कम होगा पैकिंग उतनी अच्छी होगी. Now we shall try to understand the close packing of spheres in space, leaving minimum vacant spaces. The three-dimensional mode of packing can be easily understood by dividing the whole process into 3 steps. In one-dimension close packing, there is just one way of arranging the spheres. Here, spheres are arranged in rows touching one another. As a result, each sphere is in contact with 2 neighboring spheres. Thus, in one-dimension close packing, coordination number is 2. In two-dimensional close packing, here two-dimensional crystal structure may be generated by placing one-dimension linear structure one over the other to form multiple rows. This stacking of rows can be done in two different ways: square close packing and hexagonal close packing. Now, square close packing. In this type of packing, second row of spheres are placed over the first row in such a way that the spheres of second row is placed exactly above the spheres of the first row. In such an arrangement, spheres are aligned vertically as well as horizontally, such that each sphere is in contact with four spheres. So, coordination number is 4. If we call first row as A type row, the second row is exactly same. So, it will be called as A type. If we go on placing such rows one above the other, then such an arrangement is called as AAA type of arrangement or square packing. Hexagonal close packing. In this type of packing, second row of spheres are placed in staggered manner such that spheres of second row fits into the depression of the first row. If we call the first row as A type, then the second row is different from the first, so it will be called as B type. Now, if we place the third row above the second row, we can see that the third row is in alignment with the first row and each sphere is in contact with the 6 spheres. So, the coordination number is 6. Similarly, on placing the fourth row of spheres, we can see that the fourth row is in alignment with the second row of spheres, so it will be called as B type. This type of arrangement is called AB type of arrangement or hexagonal close packing. Now, let us compare the square close packing and hexagonal close packing. It is evident from the figure that empty spaces in hexagonal packing is much less than that in the square close packing. These empty spaces are called as voids. Hence, the arrangement in the hexagonal close packing is more efficient than the square close packing. Remember, more the number of voids, less is the packing efficiency of the solid crystal. In the first figure, you can see that the coordination number of the sphere is 4. If the centers of 4 neighboring spheres surrounded by any central sphere are joined, then a square is formed. Hence, this packing is called square close packing. Now look at the second figure. The center of the 6 spheres surrounding any sphere are at the corners of a regular hexagon. Therefore, this type of packing is called hexagonal close packing. It is evident from the figures that the empty space in hexagonal close packing is much less than that in the square close packing. Hence, arrangement in hexagonal close packing is more efficient than the square close packing. Now let us study about the close packing in 3 dimension. In 3-dimensional close packing from 2-dimension square close packed layers. This type of packing is done by placing 2-dimensional square closed packed layers above the first one, such that the spheres of the second layer are exactly above the first layer. In this arrangement of spheres of the both the layers are perfectly aligned vertically and horizontally. On arranging the layers one after the other in this way, we can see each sphere is in contact with 6 other spheres. 4 from the same layer, 1 from the layer above and 1 from the layer below that sphere. So the coordination number is 6. If the first layer is A type, then rest of the layer is also same type. So it is called as AAA type of arrangement. Now, closely observing this, we can find that this type of arrangement has generated a simple cubic lattice and its unit cell is of primitive cubic unit cell. Now, 3-dimensional close packing from 2-dimensional hexagonal closed packed layers. 3-dimensional close packed hexagonal structure can be obtained by placing 2-dimensional hexagonal structure one layer above the other, placing the second layer above the first layer. Now let us take a 2-dimensional hexagonal closed packed layer A. You can see this layer has triangular voids. Place the second layer in this in such a way that the spheres of the second layers are in the depression of the first layer. As the spheres of the second layer are aligned differently as generated in the first layer, let us call it as B type. Now observe carefully. All the triangular voids of the first layer are not covered by the spheres of the second layer. This gives rise to different arrangement and different kind of voids. Now voids. There are two type of voids, tetrahedral voids and octahedral voids. Now let us learn how these voids are formed. When we place a close packed layer above the depression of the first layer, we can see that at some places the triangular voids of the first layer are being covered by the spheres of the second layer. At such places, a type of void is formed called tetrahedron voids. Since a tetrahedron is formed by joining the centers of the 4 surrounding spheres, in some places we can see triangular voids of the first layer coincides with the triangular voids of the second layer, such that their triangular shapes does not overlap. At such places, another type of voids is formed. This type of void is called as octahedral voids. Since octahedron is formed by joining the centers of 6 surrounding spheres. Now, if we want to calculate the number of tetrahedral and octahedral voids in a crystal structure, then just knowing the number of spheres will serve the purpose. Let us see how. Suppose there are n spheres in the crystal. Then the number of octahedral voids generated will be n. The number of tetrahedral voids generated will be 2n. Now, placing the third layer over the second layer. Now let us place third layer over the second layer. This can be done. Let us place the third layer over the second layer. This can be done in two ways. By covering tetrahedral voids, by covering octahedral voids. By covering tetrahedral voids. The tetrahedral voids of the second layer can be covered by placing the spheres of third layer over them. On doing so, the spheres of the third layer will be exactly aligned with the first layer. So, if we call the first layer as A type, the second layer will be B type. Then the third layer will be also A type. As the pattern of the spheres are repeated alternatively in the other layers, then the arrangement will be called as ABAB pattern, and structure formed is called hexagonal close packing or HCP structure. In this type of structure, each sphere is in contact with 12 other spheres, 6 from the same layer, 3 from the bottom layer and 3 from the top layer. So the coordination number is 12. By covering octahedral voids. Octahedral voids of the second layer can be covered by placing the spheres of the third layer over them. By doing so, the spheres of the third layer are not aligned with the spheres of the first layer or the second layer. So, if we call the first layer as A type and second layer as B type, then the third layer will be of C type. Now, if we place the fourth layer over the octahedral voids of the third layer, then the spheres gets aligned with the spheres of the first layer. So, this pattern is called ABC type, and the structure formed is called cubic closed packed or CCP or face centered cubic structure. In this type of structure, each sphere is in contact with 12 other spheres, 6 from the same layer, 3 from the bottom layer and 3 from the top layer. So the coordination number is 12. In the last slide, we have studied how the particles such as ions, atoms or molecules can be packed together in several different ways. In each type of packing, there is always some vacant space called as voids between the constituent particles. We have also learnt that there may be two types of voids, that are tetrahedral voids or octahedral voids. The percentage of total space filled by the particle is called as packing efficiency. Different type of packing arrangement will have different type of packing efficiency. Like coordination number, the magnitude of packing efficiency gives a measure of how tightly the particles are packed together. Now, packing efficiency is the fraction of percentage of total space occupied by the spheres, and packing efficiency is given by volume occupied by the particles in the unit cell upon total volume of unit cell into 100. Now, let us calculate the packing efficiency in different packing arrangements. packing efficiency in simple cubic lattice. Now we know in simple cubic lattice cell, each corner of the cell is shared by 8 unit cells. Each corner of the unit cell effectively contains 1 by 8 of the atom. There are 8 corners of the simple cubic unit cell, so the total number of atoms contained will be 1. Now we know that each atom is considered as a sphere. So the volume of one atom or one sphere will be 4 by 3 pi r cube. Now look at the figure. Here the edge length is given as A. So A will be equals to 2r. Now the volume of the cubic unit cell will be A cube, because all the edge lengths are equal. That will be equals to 2r cube equals to 8r cube. Okay, now putting this value in packing efficiency. You know what is packing efficiency? It is the volume occupied by the particles in the unit cell upon total volume of the unit cell into 100. Now packing efficiency equals to, it will be 4 by 3 pi r cube upon 8r cube into 100. On solving further, we will get pi by 6 into 100. This will come out to be 52.36 or 52.4. Now this 52.4 is the packing efficiency. Now if you want to calculate the vacant space available, we will subtract 52.4 from 100. So you will get 47.6%. Now this simple cubic, in the simple cubic unit cell, 52.36% is the total space occupied by the particles, and the remaining 47.64% is the empty space, that is the void volume. Packing efficiency in face-centered cubic lattice, or also called as CCP or HCP lattice. Now we know that in a face-centered cubic lattice, each face contribute half atoms and there are 6 faces, and there are also corners at the there are also atoms at the 8 corners, and each corner contributes 1/8 of the atom. So here the total number of atoms in a face-centered cubic lattice is 4. Now if you see in the figure, the particles are touching one another along the face diagonally in face-centered cubic lattice. Let the edge length be A and radius R, and the face diagonal be B. Now let us calculate the edge length by applying Pythagoras theorem. In triangle ABC, AC square will be equals to BC square plus AB square. Now this diagonal is B, so B square equals to A square plus A square. B square equals to 2A square. Therefore B equals to square root of 2A, that will be equals to 4R. Now A will be equals to 4R upon square root of 2. Now A is equals to 2 square root of 2R. So now the volume of the cubic unit cell is A cube. So by putting the value 2 square root of 2R cube. Now we know in the face-centered cubic unit cell there are 4 atoms. So the volume of the 4 spheres will be 4 into 4 by 3 pi r cube. That will be equals to 16 upon 3 pi r cube. From this also you can calculate the radius r. Now volume of the cubic unit cell is A cube, that we have done. 2 square root of 2r whole cube. Now volume of the 4 spheres is 16 upon 3 pi r cube. Now we know packing efficiency is equals to volume occupied by 4 spheres in the unit cell upon total volume of the unit cell into 100. Now putting the values 16 upon 3 pi r cube upon 16 square root of 2 r cube into 100. By solving this we will get 74%. Now the packing efficiency of the face-centered cube is 74%. Thus in FCC, CCP or HCP crystal lattice, 74% of the total volume is occupied by the particles and 26% is void volume or the empty space. In the center, in addition to 8 corner atoms of the cube, each corner contributing 1/8 of the atom. So the number of atoms in the body centered cube is 2. Now in body centered cubic structure there are 3 spheres in contact with each other along the body diagonal. Let A be the edge length of the cube and R be the radius of the sphere. The body diagonal AF is equals to C and the face diagonal FC is equals to B. Then AF is equals to C, that is equals to 4R. Now let us calculate the body diagonal C and the face diagonal B. Using these values we can calculate the value of A. Consider the triangle EFD. By using Pythagoras theorem, FD square is equals to EF square plus ED square. Okay, now FD is B. So B square equals to 2A square. B equals to square root of 2A. Now AF is equals to C and that is equals to 4R. Now B is equals to square root 2A. Now let us see triangle AFD. Here AF square equals to AD square plus FD square. Now C square, that is AF is C. Now C square equals to A square plus 2A square. That will be equals to 3A square. Now C equals to square root of 3A. C is the body diagonal. Now C equals to square root of 3A, that is equals to 4R. So A will be equals to 4R upon square root of 3. Now volume of the unit cell is A cube, that is equals to 4R upon root 3 whole cube. In body centered cubic unit cell, the number of particles per unit cell is 2. So each atom is considered as one sphere. So the volume of the 2 atom will be 2 into 4 by 3 pi r cube, that is equal to 8 by 3 pi r cube. Now volume of the unit cell is A cube, that is 4R upon root 3 whole cube, and the volume of the 2 atom is 8 by 3 pi r cube. Now packing efficiency, it is the volume occupied by the particles in the unit cell upon total volume of the unit cell into 100. Now putting these values, 8 upon 3 pi r cube upon 64 upon 3 square root of 3 r cube into 100. By calculating this we will get 68%. Thus, 68% of the total Thus, 68% of the total volume in BCC unit lattice is occupied by atoms and 32% is empty space or void volume. We have learned to calculate the packing efficiency in simple cubic unit cell, face-centered unit cell and body-centered unit cell. There is another way of solving this that is given in your textbook. In textbook they have given in the steps. First they have calculated the radius of sphere with the help of edge length, and then the volume of the sphere is calculated, and then the total volume of the sphere. In this they have put the value of r and they solved it further. So both the ways you should know. So I have given the second way also in this slide. Now let us summarize the topic. In this lecture we have learnt how to calculate the density of the unit cell. We have also learned to calculate the edge length, volume or number of atoms by using this formula. Now we have also done packing in crystal lattice. In this we have learned how the close packing in one dimension and two dimension can be done. And two-dimensional close packing can be done in two ways, that is square close packing and hexagonal close packing. And we have also learned how the close packing is done in three dimension by using this two-dimensional close packing. Stacking of square close packed layers to form a simple cubic primitive type AAA. Okay, and the second is the stacking of two hexagonal close packed layer to form ABAB type. Here we have also learned the type of voids, that is the tetrahedral and the octahedral voids. Here one thing is important, we have learned how to calculate the number of tetrahedral and octahedral voids. If there are n number of atoms, then number of tetrahedral voids will be 2n. And that of the octahedral voids will be n. Now the placing of the third hexagonal closed pack layer can be done in the two ways, that also we have done. The first way is the ABAB type and second is the ABC and ABC type. That is the HCP close packing and FCC close packing. Then we have learnt how to calculate the packing efficiency in a different type of lattice. Now, and we have summarized the coordination number also. In this chart, I have tried to summarize certain things which is important from the numerical point of view. Here, radius of the atom, edge length of the unit cell, total number of particles, volume of sphere, packing fraction and percentage of fraction is given. It is important from the numerical point of view. Just go through it. In the next lecture, we will be studying about the various type of crystal defects or imperfections in crystals. Hope you enjoyed the lecture. Thank you.